सबसे पहले तो आपको बहुत सारी बधाई। कांस फिल्म फेस्टिवल में पहली फिल्म इतने साल बाद इतना अच्छा उसने प्रदर्शन किया, उसके लिए आपको पहले बधाई।
धन्यवाद।
मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है, मैं थोड़ी क्यूरियस भी हूँ जानने के लिए कि ऑल वी इमेजिन एज लाइट में किस चीज़ ने आपको बहुत इंस्पायर किया एक फीमेल आइडेंटिटी और अर्बन लाइफ को दुनिया के सामने लाने के लिए, ये मैं एक जानना चाहूँगी आपसे।
फिल्म इज़ बेसिकली अबाउट फ्रेंडशिप, और जो फिल्म की जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं उनके बीच जो एक बॉन्ड बनता है वो बहुत मुंबई स्पेसिफिक बॉन्ड है। जो हम अलग अलग स्टेट से यहाँ आते हैं और यहाँ पे अपना करियर बनाते हैं, तो हमारी फैमिली बन जाती है वो उन लोगों के साथ जिनके साथ हम रहते हैं। वी वुड नॉट हैव नॉर्मली मेट दोज पीपल बट दे बिकम आवर फैमिली, एंड दैट इज़ one of the things that is very important to me in the film.
आगे आप और किस टॉपिक पे फिल्म बनाना चाहेंगे या आपने कुछ और सोचा है इसके बाद?
मुझे मुंबई को लेके बहुत ही इंटरेस्ट है और यही शहर पे और फिल्म बनानी है, तो आई थिंक और 2 फिल्म तो बनेगी मुंबई पर।
Like a मुंबई ट्रिलॉजी?
हाँ।
राणा ने बोला है कि वो इस तरह की फिल्मों में, इस तरह की फिल्में उन्होंने नहीं की हैं, इनका सिनेमा दूसरा है। So now are you planning to cast him in your kind of film, or is Rana ready to do a film like that?
That's the first thing I asked her.
Yeah, if he's willing, then I would be very very happy.
And one more thing, Rana, आप उनको कोई ऐसी फिल्म देना चाहते हैं जैसी फिल्में आप करते हैं या कमर्शियल सिनेमा? Are you ready to do that, Payal?
Sir, our aim is to make sure this runs as well as a commercial cinema does, and then you'll start calling this commercial after this.
वो अच्छा होता ना।
So we're not going to see a Payal Kapadia mass movie anytime soon?
अरे, you never say never. Anything can become mass, as if you know it can. We hope for the best.
Many congratulations for this terrific win at Cannes. I wanted to actually take it from where Suchin said about how so many of these independent films don't get released, and I think after your win, so many of the independent voices spoke up and said that there are immediate changes that are needed, in the landscape, whether it's from the government, kind of to resurrect NFDC, or to kind of issue grants, and for the industry to also kind of champion these independent voices. For you to be in the center and, took this, taken this journey and come so far, what do you feel are the desperate change that the independent filmmaking landscape in India needs?
We can talk a lot about the independent landscape in India and how much support we need, and that is true. But people keep saying 30 years in Cannes and this kind of thing. That's on them, man. Like, we have great films and they should have selected more. So,
do you think that something like a grant, that's something which happens in a lot of other countries, is also something that the government or we as a country should look at?
we always had grants. Like, until a few years ago, there were grants, and especially there was also distribution that these films would get, whether it was shown on Doordarshan or we could see films like that. So I think we need to have some way that people have access to funding, or at least if industries could meet each other, because to make independent films, it doesn't cost all that much. So if there is just a way to communicate with each other and find a way that films can be financed, no matter how big or small they are, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the more the films there are, the more diversity there is. It's just a thriving film industry, and we have it also.
Yeah, true. But I think, recently what also happened was that a lot of people felt that how All We Imagine as Light should have been India's entry for Oscars, should have been selected. I mean, it would have been a more appropriate, that's a majority voice speaking. How do you feel as a filmmaker? Were you also hoping for that? Did you feel hurt?
I mean, Lapata Lady is a great film, so I was just happy. Like, it's a wonderful film. All of us saw it, we loved it. I love her previous film also, Kiran Rao. So I was just happy that it's selected and it's the film that's going to go.
Rana, I have a question for you.
Right under the light.
Yes,
Awesome.
on the right. Yeah. So, I wanted to know that this isn't the kind of films that you've done earlier. So what convinced you to come on board for this project as a distributor?
So first, I think the first 10 minutes of the film, I was really blown. Blown with, first the performances of the actors. I was sitting, I remember I was watching the film with my wife actually, and I was just blown the fact, I was like, okay, this is a movie, this is not real. And I'm watching them perform. And after a point, you're like just being cynical, no? You're like, okay, they'll make a mistake somewhere. And they just didn't. It was so phenomenal, and I was like, to me, it was like just cinema class, theater class, everything happening at once. I was just so happy to meet her, just happy to have this in our kitty, really. And I just feel, if we are able to show this to more people, more filmmakers, there's a certain taste that we can create for our audience. I think that's really a victory for us. Like, as I'm a fan of commercial cinema. I love movies. I love movies of all kinds, but this was very, very special. The first very moment I watched it. Like he said earlier, the first title sequence of this film has a few Mumbaikars speaking. I mean, it starts from there, and then the three ladies just blow you off after that.
First of all, congratulations for the movie, and the title is also very unique. And my question is for Rana sir. Sir, if ever a documentary is made on you, and you are given a if you are given a chance to name that documentary, the title, so what title will you give it? Just like this movie has got a very unique title, what title will be for your documentary?
We will speak in 20 years from now, and I hope I achieve something proper, and we will have a documentary there.
But still, sir, if there's a title you want to give it, like 20 years later as well.
Sir, I'm just trying to figure out the story of my life. I didn't yet set a title for it. My name is Rana Daggubati, and I think that's a good way to start it.
Thank you.